There comes a moment in every person's life when they must stop waiting for inspiration and begin forging their own destiny through discipline. Consistency is not a gift, it is a decision. And when you decide to force yourself into daily action, the world begins to shape itself to your will. Success is not sudden. It is the slow accumulation of small victories repeated over time. Your habits are the invisible threads that weave your future. Every small choice you make, whether positive or negative, becomes a part of the larger fabric of your life. If your actions are scattered, lacking direction or intention, the results you experience will mirror that chaos. But when you deliberately choose to align your daily routines with your goals, you create a structure that supports your growth. Over time, the small acts you repeat without fanfare will become the very foundation on which your success is built. This is why discipline is more powerful than motivation. Motivation comes and goes, rising and falling like waves in the ocean, but discipline is the anchor that holds you steady. When you commit it to doing what must be done every day, regardless of how you feel, you place yourself on a path where results are inevitable. A predictable future isn't born out of chance, it is born out of intentional action. By forcing yourself to stay consistent, you remove the uncertainty that holds so many people back. Consistency also creates momentum. Each day you show up, you add another layer of progress that compounds over time. At first, these actions may seem insignificant, and you might even doubt if they matter at all. But just as drops of water carve valleys into stone, your repeated efforts will transform you in ways you cannot yet see. Momentum builds quietly, and one day you will realize that what once required effort has become second nature. That is when consistency begins to feel like freedom rather than force. However, it is important to recognize that this journey will not always feel easy. There will be mornings when you want to give up, days when progress feels invisible of your life, and moments when distractions tempt you to abandon the path. These are the exact moments where your future is decided. Choosing discipline over comfort during hardship not only builds results, but also builds character. Every time you rise above excuses, you strengthen the inner resolve that makes success inevitable. Ultimately, when you force yourself to remain consistent, life begins to align in ways that may seem almost magical. Opportunities appear, confidence grows, and the people and circumstances you need start to gravitate toward you. This is not luck, it is the natural reward of staying committed to your path. Consistency turns dreams into reality because it bridges the gap between who you are and who you are capable of becoming. Relying on feelings to determine when to act is one of the biggest traps people fall into. Feelings are temporary and unpredictable. They rise and fall based on your environment, your mood, or even how much sleep you got the night before. If you wait until you feel ready, you will find yourself waiting forever. The people who accomplish the most are not the ones who feel inspired every day, but the ones who take action regardless of their emotions. They understand that the work must be done whether they are motivated or not. Acting when you least feel like it is where true transformation begins. It's easy to work hard when energy is high and enthusiasm is overflowing, but the real test of character is found on days when fatigue, doubt, and discomfort set in. In those moments, forcing yourself to show up creates a mental toughness that can't be developed any other way. Each time you push past the desire to quit, you prove to yourself that discipline is stronger than emotion, and this belief becomes a powerful force in your life. Over time, taking action despite resistance rewires the mind. You begin to realize that your emotions no longer have the power to dictate your behavior. The shift is subtle but profound. It's when habits start replacing hesitation. The daily practice of ignoring fleeting feelings in favor of long-term goals creates a rhythm of consistency, and consistency is what compounds into mastery. By acting when others would stop, you quietly separate yourself from the crowd. There is also a deep sense of pride that comes from following through on your commitments when you didn't want to. These moments become internal victories, a reminder that you are capable of more than you thought. That pride fuels confidence, and confidence fuels momentum. Soon, what once felt like forcing yourself becomes part of who you are. You no longer wait to feel ready, you simply act because action has become your nature. In the end, refusing to let feelings control you is the gateway to freedom. When you learn to show up even when you're uninspired, uncomfortable, or afraid, you gain control over your destiny. Life will always test you with moments of weakness, but the discipline to act despite them is what allows everything else to fall into place. Success comes to those who do what must be done, especially when they don't feel like doing it. Having a clear goal is like holding a compass in the middle of a storm. Without it, even your hardest efforts scatter in every direction, leaving you feeling busy but unfulfilled. A definite purpose focuses your energy and gives meaning to the discipline you apply each day. It reminds you why you endure the challenges and why you keep going when progress feels slow. When your mind is fixed on a single objective, every action, no matter how small, becomes a building block toward something greater. This clarity does more than just guide your steps. It strengthens your resolve. When you know exactly what you want, distractions lose their power over you. The countless options and temptations that once pulled you away from your path begin to fade because they no longer align with your vision. A strong goal acts as a filter, helping you say no to the unimportant and yes to the things that bring you closer to your desired future. That focus saves time, energy, and mental space. Consistency fueled by a clear goal also creates confidence. Every day you take deliberate steps toward your purpose, you prove to yourself that progress is possible. Each small victory compounds into belief, and belief is what makes the impossible seem achievable. Over time, you stop doubting whether you can reach the goal and begin thinking only about how to get there faster. This mental shift transforms persistence into an unstoppable force. A clear purpose also carries you through setbacks. No journey is free from obstacles, but when your goal burns brightly in your mind, it becomes harder to quit. Temporary failures turn into lessons rather than dead ends because you know where you are going. Even when progress slows, that vision pulls you forward, reminding you that persistence always outlasts difficulty. The people who succeed are not the ones who never face challenges, they are the ones who keep moving in spite of them. Ultimately, when consistency and purpose come together, extraordinary things happen. A disciplined person without a goal is like a ship adrift, but a person with both discipline and direction cannot be stopped. Every action lines up, every habit lines, and momentum builds until success becomes inevitable. It is not about working harder than everyone else. For the remainder of your life, it is about working deliberately towards something that truly matters to you. Time is the one resource that can never be reclaimed once it is gone, yet it is also the resource most easily wasted. Every moment you spend on meaningless distractions pulls you further from the life you are capable of living. Guarding your time requires a deep awareness of how easily it slips away and the courage to make uncomfortable choices to protect it. This means saying no to things that feel urgent but do not contribute to your growth, and reserving your energy for the actions that truly matter. Distractions often disguise themselves as harmless, but they erode focus quietly. A few minutes spent scrolling, gossiping, or indulging in tasks that have no lasting impact may not seem dangerous at first. Over days and weeks, though, these small leaks create massive gaps in progress. The key is to recognize these patterns early and deliberately cut them out. Every time you reclaim wasted time, you reclaim control over your future. Building a sacred daily routine is one of the most effective ways to protect your time. When your schedule is structured around your highest priorities, you remove the need for constant decision-making and reduce opportunities for distraction. A disciplined routine turns important tasks into habits, freeing your mind to focus on improvement rather than simply maintaining consistency. Over time, this structure creates stability that others notice but cannot easily disrupt. You guarding your time also means protecting your mental space. It is not only about avoiding external interruptions, but also silencing the internal noise of doubt, worry, and unnecessary overthinking. Learning to focus deeply on what matters allows you to get more done in less time and prevents your energy from scattering. A quiet mind and a controlled schedule are two of the strongest allies you can have in your pursuit of consistency. When you treat your time as sacred, everything else begins to align. The people around you start respecting your boundaries, opportunities flow toward your priorities, and your progress accelerates in ways that feel effortless. Life will always try to pull you in different directions, but the person who fiercely guards their time is the one who creates lasting change. Protect your hours, and you protect your destiny. Progress often feels invisible in the beginning, and that can be discouraging. We live in a world that glorifies overnight success, but real achievement rarely works that way. It is built brick by brick, day after day, through small actions that don't seem significant in the moment. Celebrating those tiny steps forward reminds you that every effort counts, even when the results are not yet visible. This mindset keeps you motivated during the quiet, unseen stages of growth. Acknowledging small victories is more than just feeling good about yourself. It reinforces your behavior. When you reward yourself for consistent effort, you create a positive feedback loop in your mind. Your brain begins to associate discipline with accomplishment, making it easier to stay committed. Over time, this shift in perception helps you see each day as a win rather than a grind, even when the journey feels long. Small progress also prevents burnout. When you measure success only by the end goal, you risk becoming overwhelmed by how far you still have to go. But when you pause to recognize the improvements you've made along the way, the path becomes lighter. Each milestone, no matter how minor, proves that your consistency is working. That proof gives you the energy to keep going. Celebrating small wins doesn't mean you lose sight of the bigger picture. It means you're learning to value the process. Every disciplined day adds to your foundation, making it stronger and more stable. Just like a builder sees beauty in each stone laid, you can find pride in every step taken toward your vision. This perspective transforms the mundane into something meaningful. In the end, the person who learns to honor small progress never stops moving forward. They understand that success is not one giant leap, but thousands of consistent steps. By recognizing those steps, they stay patient, they stay hopeful, and they remain unstoppable. Every day you stay disciplined is proof that your future is already being built, one brick at a time. The people you surround yourself with either lift you higher or drag you backward. Every conversation, every shared belief, every action taken by those around you subtly shapes your mindset and habits. When you are constantly exposed to negativity or doubt, it becomes harder to stay consistent because you begin to absorb those attitudes without realizing it. But when you place yourself among those who encourage discipline and progress, their energy strengthens your own resolve. Your environment is just as powerful as the people in it. A cluttered, chaotic space breeds distraction, while an organized and focused environment encourages action. The places you spend your time should reflect the life you want to create, not the one you are trying to escape. Every detail, from the way your workspace is set up to the kind of media you consume, plays a role in either supporting or sabotaging your goals. Thoughts are another influence you must choose carefully. Negative self-talk can be as destructive as negative people. The words you repeat to yourself each day shape your self-image, and your self-image dictates your consistency. Replacing doubt with belief, fear with faith, and hesitation with determination transforms not just your actions, but the way you experience challenges. Protecting your inner dialogue is as important as guarding your outer circle. Surrounding yourself with positive influences does not mean avoiding all criticism or discomfort. It means aligning with people and ideas that push you to grow rather than settle. True allies challenge you to rise to your potential while still believing in your ability to get there. This kind of support makes it easier to stay consistent during the moments when you feel like giving up. When every influence around you reinforces your purpose, consistency becomes natural. You no longer have to fight against constant resistance. Instead, your surroundings quietly push you forward. Progress feels lighter because everything in your life, your people, your space, and your thoughts is working in harmony toward your vision. That alignment is where discipline transforms into momentum. Resistance is an inevitable part of any journey worth taking. Life has a way of testing those who aim higher, often presenting challenges at the exact moment when progress begins to build. These tests are not punishments, but opportunities to strengthen resolve. The presence of obstacles is proof that you are moving forward, because those who remain still rarely encounter resistance. It is the pursuit of growth that awakens difficulty, and learning to expect it prepares you to endure it. When setbacks appear, most people see them as signs to quit. The mind begins to question whether the struggle is worth it, and fear whispers that perhaps the goal was never possible. Yet these doubts arise precisely at the point where breakthroughs are near. Consistency demands that you keep moving when everything inside you urges you to stop. By enduring when others give up, you set yourself apart and allow yourself to experience the rewards that only persistence can earn. Obstacles also have a hidden purposing. They refine character. Every time you push through difficulty, you become stronger, more patient, and more disciplined. Struggle forces you to find solutions, adapt to changing circumstances, and discover strengths you didn't know you had. These qualities stay with you long after the challenge has passed, equipping you for even greater opportunities in the future. Trusting the process during hardship requires faith. Not blind faith in chance, but faith in the truth that consistent effort always yields results. Progress may be slow and invisible at times, but that does not mean it isn't happening. Just as seeds grow underground, before breaking the surface, your efforts are preparing results that will appear in time. The key is to keep working, even when evidence of success has yet to show. The moment you overcome resistance is the moment momentum begins to work in your favor. Life has a way of rewarding those who refuse to quit, often in ways that exceed their expectations. By anticipating difficulty and preparing your mind for it, you transform setbacks into stepping stones. Consistency is not about avoiding resistance, but about outlasting it, trusting that every hardship endured brings you closer to the life you are building. Relying on willpower alone is like trying to hold your breath underwater. Eventually, you run out of strength and give in. Willpower is limited, and when your energy is low, it becomes even harder to stay disciplined. This is why rituals are so powerful. By creating habits that run on autopilot, you remove the need for constant decision-making. You no longer ask yourself whether to act. You simply do it because it has become a natural part of your day. Rituals are built through repetition. The more consistently you follow the same pattern, the more deeply it becomes ingrained in your mind. Over time, the effort required to begin decreases, and what once felt like a struggle becomes second nature. This shift is crucial because the hardest part of discipline is often starting. When starting is automatic, momentum takes care of the rest. Structuring your day around these rituals creates stability. Instead of waking up and wondering how to spend your time, you already know the actions that need to happen. This clarity saves mental energy and reduces stress, allowing you to focus on doing the work rather than debating with yourself. The fewer decisions you have to make, the less room there is for excuses to creep in. Systems also protect you during moments of weakness. Everyone faces days when motivation is low or life becomes overwhelming. A strong routine acts as a safety net, keeping you on track even when your mind resists. It carries you through the days you feel like quitting, ensuring progress continues even at a slower pace. This is the quiet power of rituals. They keep you moving forward when nothing else will. When good habits become automatic, your energy is freed for growth and improvement rather than survival. Instead of wasting effort trying to stay consistent, you can focus on refining your craft and pushing your limits. This is how rituals turn discipline into freedom. By creating a life where consistency happens effortlessly and every action aligns with the person you are becoming. Chasing perfection often paralyzes people, keeping them from starting or making progress at all. They wait for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, or the perfect level of skill, and in doing so, they lose valuable time. Improvement, on the other hand, is about embracing imperfection while moving forward. It allows you to grow through action rather than hesitation. The goal is not to do everything flawlessly, but to become better each day than you were the day before. Failure is an inevitable part of any worthwhile pursuit, and trying to avoid it only leads to frustration. True consistency is not about never stumbling, but about how quickly you get back up when you do. Missing one day or making a mistake does not erase the progress you've made. Quitting does. Each time you rise after a setback, you build resilience and prove to yourself that you are stronger than the obstacle you faced. Focusing on improvement also helps you measure success in a healthier way. Instead of obsessing over how far you still have to go, you learn to recognize how far you've already come. This shift in perspective keeps you motivated because progress, even small progress, is visible and meaningful. Over time, these small gains accumulate into significant transformation without the pressure of unrealistic expectations. Improvement invites flexibility, allowing you to adapt as you grow. Life will never unfold exactly as planned, and perfection leaves no room for change. By aiming for progress rather than flawlessness, you learn to adjust your methods without abandoning your goals. This adaptability ensures that setbacks become opportunities to refine your approach instead of reasons to give up entirely. In the end, the power lies not in doing everything right, but in refusing to stop. The person who keeps improving, no matter how imperfectly, will always surpass the one who waits for perfection. By focusing on steady growth, you create a momentum that carries you forward, turning persistence into achievement and discipline into freedom. Trusting the process means believing in the unseen results of your effort. At first, progress feels invisible, and doubt can creep in because there is no immediate reward. This is the stage where most people give up, thinking their work isn't making a difference. But growth is often silent in the beginning. The habits you practice daily are planting seeds below the surface, and those seeds take time to break through. Patience becomes as important as discipline in these early stages. Consistency creates alignment between your actions and your goals. When you repeatedly show up, life begins to organize itself in ways you couldn't predict. The right opportunities start appearing because your preparation makes you ready to recognize and seize them. The people who share your vision begin to cross your path, and circumstances shift in your favor. What once felt random begins to look like timing, but it is really the result of steady effort meeting the right moment. The process also transforms you internally. Staying committed even when results are slow builds a mental strength that carries into every area of life. It teaches you patience, resilience, and faith in yourself. These qualities matter more than any single victory because they ensure you can face future challenges without fear. The process shapes you into someone capable of handling the success you're working toward. Many quit just before everything starts falling into place. This is why trusting the process is so vital. It keeps you moving forward when evidence of progress is invisible. You cannot see how close you are to the breakthrough you've been working toward, and if you stop, you'll never know. Discipline is the bridge that takes you past that uncertainty and into the rewards waiting on the other side. Life has a quiet way of rewarding those who endure. When you stay consistent long enough, the struggle eases, the path becomes clearer, and opportunities appear in abundance. What felt impossible at first becomes natural because you grew strong enough to handle it. This is the reward of trusting the process, of knowing that every disciplined day brought you closer to the life you were building, even when you couldn't see it yet.